Queen's Park Rangers play Huddersfield this Sunday in what is undoubtedly the biggest match of our season so far. Huddersfield are just 3 points ahead of QPR in the league table on a worse goal difference. So a home win would see us match them on points and leapfrog them to safety. Now of course there is a very long way to go after that, but there is no doubting what being out of the relegation zone for the first time since the 30th of September could do for this side. A win for Huddersfield of course would extend the gap between them and the relegation zone to 6 points. The opportunity here for both teams is massive. Now the R's of course lost to Huddersfield last time out on the 21st of October. Kian Harra and Jack Rudoni raced the home side to a 2-0 lead inside 14 minutes. Not really a huge surprise given we fielded a back five that included Jimmy Dunn, Kakai and Adoma. Jake Clark-Salter did pull one back just before half time, and with a distinct lack of goal scoring quality, he would be our biggest threat again in the second half, hitting the woodwork in the opening minutes. But Huddersfield held on for the full 3 points. That at the time was our 4th loss in a row, our 7th match without a win, and that was a run of course that would extend to 12 without a win until our 4-2 home win against Stoke City. Now I thought it would be interesting to compare the two sides before and after that loss away at Huddersfield. Just like this time, Huddersfield were 3 points ahead of QPR in the league table. They were 18th in the Championship on 11 points, while QPR were 22nd on 8 points. And just like Rangers, Huddersfield had only won 2 matches going into that fixture. But the interesting thing is that despite QPR having been in the relegation zone for nearly 4 months now, they've actually picked up more points than Huddersfield in the 15 matches since that loss. Huddersfield have 12 points from 15, which includes 2 wins against both Sunderland and Blackburn Rovers, while QPR have 16 points from 15, which includes 4 wins against Stoke, Preston, Hull and of course Millwall. And although Huddersfield have scored more goals overall, it's QPR with the slightly better goal difference, which could prove very useful should we get the win on Sunday. Now the point here is not to big up QPR or say that we are a better team. Last weekend's 2-0 win over Millwall was our first in 8 after all. But it does go to show that if a team below Huddersfield can get their act together, they very much could be clawed into that relegation zone. And we know how hard that is to get out of there once you're in. But again, these stats by no means make Sunday an easy run. Rangers are yet to win a match against the two sides above or below them this season, and Darren Moore's side will be eyeing this as a huge opportunity themselves, with the possibility of widening that gap to 6 points once again, a gap that will become increasingly hard to keep shutting down as the season goes on. The other spoke in our wheels is that unlike QPR, Huddersfield have been very active in the January transfer window so far. With 2 forwards, an attacking midfielder and a centre-back all joining this month, the club is clearly doing all it can to rectify their poor showings at both ends of the pitch. 24-year-old striker Bojan Radulovic joins from Helsinki. 25-year-old centre-back Radioni Bulka joins from Groningen. 29-year-old striker Reece Healy joins from Watford, having only just signed for the Hornets last summer. And 19-year-old attacking midfielder Alex Matos joins on loan from Chelsea. So that's the scary bit for Rangers really, because Huddersfield have gone and done the recruitment that this club could so desperately do with. Now there is no guarantee that these players are going to gel or that they're going to be any good for Huddersfield. Both Matos and Healy started in the 1-1 draw against Blackburn last weekend, with Radulovic coming off the bench. But on paper these look to be fairly sensible acquisitions for the club, especially with Radulovic's 21 goals in 32 games for Helsinki. The reality is these transfers, if they pay off, could be the difference between staying up and going down. Now before we round up and I do my prediction, let's have a look at Huddersfield's last 5 matches. They're winless in their last 4, with their last victory a 3-0 win at home to Blackburn Rovers, followed by consecutive losses to Borough and Leicester, and then consecutive draws to both Plymouth and Blackburn. There was the 5-0 away loss to Man City in the FA Cup in the midst of that, but no one is going to begrudge them that result. Rangers, of course, will be hoping that the confidence of the 2-0 win against Millwall last weekend will be enough to fill the transferless gap the club currently has. It was a good performance against a pretty poor Millwall side, but you'd like to think with the number of chances we had against Watford the week before, and the 2 goals we found against a normally pretty resolute Millwall defence, that will be in this one attacking-wise. The Stoke win, of course, Marty's first, did trigger 3 wins on the trot, so I'm hoping for a similar effect here. But that huge dip in quality after those 3 wins doesn't just disappear, so we're really going to have to be on it in this one. It's probably going to be pretty tight and tense, and with 2 sides of fairly similar quality, it's going to come down to who wants it more. I'll go for my same prediction as I went against Millwall, 2-1, and I'll even chuck in Chair and Colback as the goal scorers. Do let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, please do hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video for my post-match reaction. Come on, you Oz.